we're back because we love the outdoors and we love Michigan, and when you combine those two, you've got hiking and you've got camping and snowmobiling and water skiing and snow skiing and wakeboarding and snowboarding and all kinds of fun things, and the list goes on in Michigan. But for this video, we're going to look at the most scenic 10 hiking trails in Michigan. To stay in the loop when we post a new video about Metro Detroit, real estate, or the latest and greatest things happening in our area, so hit the subscribe button. And if you love this list and you love this video and you want more people to see it, hit the like button. My name is Mike Perna. I'm a local real estate agent here in Metro Detroit for over 20 years, serving all 5 counties. Google Michael Perna Real Estate to scope out our over 2,200 reviews on Google. And did you subscribe already? And like the video? I want to get on with the video, so go ahead and do that real quick. Awesome, and thank you, and fist bump. And watch to the end for the last 3 trails that are spectacular. Counting down from number 10 to number 1, coming in at 10 on the list is the Sable River Foot Trail in the Hartwick Pines State Park. This is a good family set of hiking trails with its 100-plot campground, 4-mile easy hikes, and it's right there by Grayling, so it's super centrally located, and most of the area was pretty much rebuilt and replanted by logging companies, so it's beautiful again. To the north, closer to Gaylord, we used to go camping as kids, and if you look at the forest and the trees up there, they're all lined up in perfect rows from loggers, having wiped out whole miles of forest, replanting new trees in rows. It's actually a pretty interesting thing to look at, and I digress. With nearly 10,000 acres, Hartwick Pines State Park is the largest state park in the Lower Peninsula and the 5th largest state park in the entire state in the heart of northern Michigan. The Hartwick Pines represents a rare plot of white pines forest that was once nearly decimated by lumberjacks and then replanted. The Sable Riverfoot Trail offers a close-up look at the beauty of these old trees and passes over the Sable River twice. If you've got time, add a walk along the Hartwick Pines Old Growth Forest Trail too, just 1 mile in length, and it's a short hike to take visitors to a reconstructed logging camp and the logging museum. So this one just barely squeaked into the list. It got bonus points for being family friendly, having a historical context, Grayling being right down the road, and the sheer size of the park. But it also got demoted to last place because it's more of a manufactured beauty than a natural beauty, with the trees having been replanted, and frankly, I like to be on the bigger lakes like Lake Michigan or Lake Superior when I'm going for a hike. Number 9 on the list, the Grand River Trail in the Grand River County Park and William Burchfield Park. This one is a moderately difficult trail, actually, with the Grand River Trail exploring the banks of the Grand River. The actual Grand River, not the road. On this 4-mile loop in Ingham County, located just 10 miles south of Lansing, the Grand River County and Burchfield County parks adjoin one another to create a really nice green space near Michigan State Capitol. Expect a meandering path that climbs over river bluffs, through wetlands, passes through century-old farms, and beneath hardwood forests that are particularly beautiful in autumn. Number 8 on my list is the Warren Dunes State Park, specifically the Great Warren Dunes Trail. This is a 4-mile circuit that goes through hardwood forests and then up over towering dunes that the west side of Michigan is known for. This one's particularly good to hike in autumn when the colors are changing. This park has some of the best reds, yellows, and oranges in the entire state. Also, the other reason why it makes the list is because it's super close to Chicago, and a great stopover if you're on the way to contrast the city and the wilderness. And just north is one of my favorite small towns, St. Joseph, Michigan. All right, I'm gonna stop here for a moment and note that if you are loving this content, if you haven't, give me a thumbs up to help others see it, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But most important, comment below what your favorite trail is in Michigan if I'm not naming it, anywhere in Michigan, because I'm always looking for a good one I haven't done. Number 7, this one is several state trails in the Algonquin State Park, the Potawatomi, the Algonquin, and the Chippewa trails, named after 3 of the Native American tribes that were indigenous to the area. And if you can't tell, a lot of things in Michigan are named after Native Americans and prominent people in the tribes. All 3 are in the 1,800-acre Algonquin State Park and is one of the most scenic parks on the Lake Huron shoreline. It's located between Harrisville and Alpena, both great little towns to visit as well. In total, it's about a 5-mile hike of unspoiled shoreline, hidden bays, and hidden beaches. The reason this one makes my list is it's a very, very lowly traveled park, and you'll rarely see someone else out there on the trail, which, as an introvert, I love. Number 6. The Port Crescent Trail in Port Crescent State Park. This one made the middle of the pack, but no higher for 3 reasons. First, it's in the thumb, so it's a lot easier to get to from Metro Detroit than some of the others. I happen to live in Metro Detroit. Second, it's one of the most scenic trail systems this far south. And third, why it's not in the top 5, I do like a more challenging trail, and this one's rated as easy. This trail proper is a short 2 miles and great for younger kids to cut their teeth on hiking. You see a lot of 5, 6, and 7-year-olds out there. And if they're liking what they're getting, you can also tack on the Huron Sand Dune Trail for an additional 2.7 miles. Also, I love that this park has about 5 miles of river to canoe or kayak, so it's more than just a hike if you want to. I advise trying to time the hikes to end towards night so you can also catch the night sky, which is gorgeous out here. Last point in its favor is that it's right outside of Port Austin, and I love that town. Port Austin is going to be featured in a video of the best vacation spots in Michigan to stay, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Okay, so here's where it starts getting super fun. Number 5 is the Big Carp River Trail in the Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park. So this one is a hard one, so be ready. It's got over 90 miles of trail, over 60,000 acres on the west side of the Upper Peninsula. The Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park is both the state's largest park and also its most remote. The best scenery is along the 9.6 mile Big Carp River Trail, and that route brings you from the Superior Lake shoreline through a valley toward the inland lake called the Lake of the Clouds. After that, you can take on the Escarpment Trail, which goes along a ridge overlooking the lake, and the Northern Mirror Lake Trail taking you to Northern Mirror Lake, of course, hence the trail name. The Big Carp River Trail proper is 9 miles, and I'll say it again, it's considered challenging. Most people make this hike in total a 3 or a 4 day trip. Even if you're going for just the 1 day to hit the 9 miles, definitely bring some provisions because there are not any there, as the trail starts 4 miles from nearest road and then just takes you further from there. Number 4, Pyramid Point Trail on the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, and I've done this one several times. Again, a medium or moderately difficult trail depending on which leg you take. The Sleeping Bear Dunes have over 100 miles hiking trails that zigzag and cross each other. If you're going for easy, the circuits around the North and the South Manitou Islands are definitely easier. If you're looking for something a little more challenging, the Dune Hiking Trail starts at the Dune Climb and will definitely get you winded if you're pushing it. The Dune Climb itself is a 284 high wall of sand I've tackled several times, and now go ahead and just wait at the top for the others to get after because I've already had that experience. I'm totally good. I bring a book because it takes them a while to get up it. It takes 5 minutes to get down, but it takes a while to get back up it, like an hour. Be sure if you're hiking the park to add in a stop at Pyramid Point. It's its own little trail, just a little over a mile, called the Pyramid Point Trail, but it's also the best view of the lake, hands down, in the entire state park. Number 3 on the list, the Lakeshore North County Trail, specifically the Pictured Rocks part of it. So this one's a 42-mile multi-day hike that goes between Grand Marias and Munsing. If you take on this one, it's a moderately difficult hike, but also not too hard. You'll get to go past lighthouses and shipwrecks and sand dunes and beaches and a lot more. There are 14 designated camping areas, so you also won't find yourself in a spot where you're not near one. The sandstone cliffs are about 200 feet above the water with the most spectacular views. Most people choose to cover it in 4 days, going 9 to 12 miles a day. If you're thinking July or August, you definitely want to reserve your campsites in advance as it gets a little busy. And this is why it was dropped to number 3 on the list. It's kind of crowded during peak season, a little more than my liking because, again, introvert. Next up in number 2, I put the Greenstone Ridge Trail in the Isle Royale National Park. And this one's like a really cool one. It's one of the hardest trails on the list for a few different reasons. First, it's 43 miles, so definitely plan for a couple of days. But that's not unique when it comes to a trail, especially in the northern states, and Michigan especially, right? The terrain gets pretty steep at places on the trail itself, and there is not a lot of flat to it. It's also a fairly remote trail. The camping isn't like renting a spot over in Pentwater. You have to filter your water here, and there isn't electricity. That said, the Greenstone Ridge is amazing and elevated to get a spectacular view of Lake Superior. The forest is densely packed with white pines, amazing granite jutting out from the side of the ridge and the mountains. Well, we don't really have a lot of mountains in Michigan, but like super big hills. We'll just call it that. We'll just call it that. Just trying alliteration here. You get it. Yep. And you'll also probably catch a few moose sightings here, which is not uncommon, as well as wolves and other wildlife. Also, Isle Royale charges $7 per person to enter. Just want that as an FYI, don't want anybody to be caught off guard. And I saved the best for last. It's one of the least hiked trails in the US, the entire US, because it's so remote. It's actually on an island in the middle of Lake Superior. So the two best ways to get there are either by ferry or by seaplane. All right, on to number 1. But before we get there, I did add a bonus one after this, so stay tuned. Watch to the end. You're gonna love it. Michigan's Iron Bell Trail. This is another hefty one and is actually still being worked on. When completed, it's gonna go all the way from Belle Isle to the tip of the northern peninsula. And it's going through 48 counties, has 2 trails running the length of it, one designed for hiking and one designed for biking. The hiking portion is 1,250 miles long and the biking portion is 770. Both include terrain that's reasonably flat and you can use a road bike towards the southern parts, especially with the stretch between Van Buren and Belle Isle. As you go north, and especially in the UP, you're definitely gonna wanna trade in your road bike for a mountain bike. There are starting points in all 48 counties, but the most popular ones are at the very end in Ironwood, Michigan, on Belle Isle itself, and just on the north side of the Mackinac Bridge. It also crosses several streets in Detroit, making it kind of an untrailed trail at parts. For the more traditional woodsy hikers, go to the north, and then you've got more of the urban hiking in Detroit itself. Here's the bonus one. This is not really a Michigan specific trail, but I also happen to love this one. The North County National Scenic Trail in Lowell. Lowell's in Kent County, just to the east of Grand Rapids, because I love Grand Rapids for a lot of reasons. I really wanted to sneak this one onto the list, and it's probably one of the best places to pick this trail up. The North County National Scenic Trail, which is a mouthful, is a 4,800-mile path that actually runs through 8 states, including Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, of course Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, and is the longest national trail system in the United States. There are 1,150 miles within Michigan, and the territory varies from flat to very difficult. The closer to the Ohio border you pick up the trail, the flatter it is, and as you go north from Lowell, it gets more wooded and choppier terrain. Experts have said great spots to pick up the trail if you're good with medium to hard difficulty is in Baldwin, between Cadillac and Manistee, at the Manistee National Forest, and along Lake Superior near Grand Marais. It was created in 1980 and was designed to follow and connect existing trails along the Finger Lakes in New York, as well as the Baker Trail in Pennsylvania and the Buckeye, Ohio trails. And that actually just kind of hurt my soul a bit, as I am anti-Ohio State, or anti-the Ohio State, or wherever they want to call themselves. For my 3 to 5 Ohio State fans that are left, you have my condolences that you are not a Wolverine or a Spartan. When it was formed, this new trail in 1980 connected 160 separate public land units and plots, and now crosses 10 national forests, 4 national park service areas, 2 national wildlife refuges, 2 reclamation projects, 7 Army Corps of Engineer impounds that were turned into trails, as well as 57 state parks. This is a heck of a time. My name is Mike Perna. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey through what I think are the top 10 most scenic hiking trails in Michigan. And again, if we can help you anytime find your next home, or if you'd like a no obligation cost assessment on your current home, give us a call anytime at 248-886-4450, numbers on the screen. And don't forget to Google us, Michael Perna Real Estate, to scope out our 2,200 plus reviews.